And last time we were on, Mike, we talked about Deion, and it was more of, hey, the celebrities are there. He's got the atmosphere. And we were talking about the clock management. Remember, we were talking about clock management for Deion.
Yep.
And so now that's clock management and a loss. And we're trying to raise the stakes. Hey, what kind of questions is he going to get? Well, Deion beat us to it. Before people were going to start saying, hey, good job. You won another game. That was your fourth win, and you only won one last year. Deion's taking it to another level. What do you see and what do you hear from Deion? And I know you got some takes on Shador too. What do you see and hearing from them?
Here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a coach that is a winner. I'm seeing a coach that has won his entire life. When he was in college, when he was in the NFL, two-time Super Bowl winner. I saw a coach that won on the HBCU level, taking Jackson State, which, by the way, is Wisdom's alma mater. Jackson State to the championship game 2 years in a row, and he had these expectations for Colorado coming in. We thought maybe, okay, 4 or 5 wins, maybe a bowl game is going to be good enough. A lot of the other people out there, especially Vegas, said 3.5 wins this season, coming off an 11-loss season last year, a 1-win team. Deion Sanders told us a long time ago that we believe. We didn't believe it, but he believes, and that's all that matters. And since he wants his team to take on his whole identity, they got to play better. Like in the early stages of that Arizona State game, they did not play like a team that was, coming off of 2 back-to-back losses and played well against USC in that second half. So even though we said, okay, 4 wins this season or whatever, and they came back and they won that game, he expects more. And that's what you want out of Colorado. If you see Deion Sanders, Prime, what do you see out of him? What do you see out of him as far as like not just this season, but beyond, Mike?
You know what, Mike? Here's the thing about Deion, and this shouldn't be surprising because I'm going to talk about this a little bit later about what's on the surface and what really the substance is all about. So on the surface, people see all the things they see about Deion Sanders and the confidence, the swagger, the sunglasses. He just moves a different way. And what I keep saying is he knows what he's doing. Yes. Deion Sanders can coach. Deion Sanders can run a program. Deion Sanders can lead. And I think because of who he was as a player and who he is as a coach, we kind of missed that. And I think, look, people missed that when he was a player. If you look back at it, he was a really smart player. On top of everything else, he was a showman, but he was a smart player. He understood what he was doing. I love these stories. You ever hear that story when he was with the Cowboys and, Jimmy Johnson's in team meetings, and he's saying, hey, we're going to run this coverage. We're going to do this. And Deion puts his feet up and says, Coach, I'll take him. Okay?
Yes.
I hear what you're saying. I got him. Don't worry about anything else. I hear what you're saying about coverages. I got him. I'm going to take him out. So continue. Whatever else you want to do around the field, you got it. I understand what we're doing, but I got him. Let me handle that business. He just understands what teams are trying to do. He's perfect for coaching, really.
You make a really good point. Beyond the bravado, beyond the glitz, the glamour, beyond all the hype he gives to himself, which he deserves to because he's earned that. He's proven on the field and off the field as a professional, as a coach on the college level. He's a professional coach on the college level. He is one of substance, man. And he is not just about, okay, see me do this and all that type of stuff and talk all this smack and saying what I'm going to do and how I'm going to accomplish it, whatever. He backs it up. And I'm always the type of person, I don't know how you feel about this. If you walk it, you can talk it. That's all I say. If you walk it, you can talk it. If you talking and you ain't walking it, man, I don't want to hear it anymore. You're just setting yourself up, which kind of brings me to this, because who has his DNA on that team? There are 2 players that has his DNA on that team. And I'm talking about Shiloh Sanders, who's become a really good safety in college football. And, of course, Shador Sanders, who deserves all the hype that he got. You know what I'm sick of, Mike? And I want to ask you how you feel about this, is that I am sick of grown men, media members, fans getting upset at a kid who's a young man, but he's still a kid, being into himself and celebrating his victories. The Shador Sanders, victory, when he does that with the watch or whatever. First of all, the man can buy his own watch. The man is making like $5 million in NIL. I heard somebody say, well, he shouldn't be showing off a watch his daddy got him. His daddy didn't get him that. Prime ain't spending that kind of money. Prime ain't spending that money. Believe that. Prime make money, but Prime is, notoriously kind of frugal with his money. Don't get me wrong. He will take care of his kids, but that money, right there. Shedeur Sanders, that's the Shedeur Sanders. So he got so much flack. There was Danny Cannell who played at Florida State, and he was a Giants quarterback for a little while in the NFL as well. Came out and said, sure, you can do that, and you can brag when you're doing that to a 1-5 football team. Well, first of all, that 1-5 football team, that fan base was coming out saying he was overrated. So after the game, he came out and showed them, no, I'm not overrated. We just whooped your tail. We just won on the football field. And if you're 1-5, you shouldn't say a damn thing anyway. Right. Shut up.
hey, and look, Mike, 1-5 football team. You're doing that against a 1-5 football team. How soon we forget? How soon we forget that Colorado just won a game. Like, Colorado was in that position just last year. Colorado has been down for a long time. So whether you're doing that against a 1-5 team, a 3-3 team, the fact that we're talking about Colorado football still, it's October, and we're talking about Colorado football and Shedeur and the excitement level and what's coming next when they take on Stanford. I think we had a headline there. If you can run that back a little bit. We had a headline about Arizona State, and how the crowd was there. The crowd was there. They were sold out, and they think Deion is good for college football. A lot of people said this, and I know Deion talks about the haters, and yeah, sure, there's some haters there. But here it is. The president and AD says he's a breath of fresh air. Okay? So we've had record ratings for Deion Sanders. We've had Colorado in Boulder, Colorado, looking like an HBCU. Yeah. We've got celebrities, we got fans. It travels too. It's the attention is there in Colorado. The attention is there in Arizona. Is gonna be there wherever Deion goes. And you know what this is? Like, a lot of people really get into in our politicized times and our partisan times, Mike. A lot of people get into descriptions and caricatures, and they don't really. There are certain buzzwords that they hear and they don't really think about what it means. You know what Deion Sanders is proving? Deion Sanders is proving that diversity, equity, and inclusion can be a good thing for your business. Because that's what it is. That's exactly, he doesn't look at, this is what it means when people say, hey, diversity. It doesn't mean getting somebody who looks different than you, but ultimately does the same thing that you do. No, sometimes it means bringing somebody into your business who does not fit the mold, who doesn't sound like y'all, who doesn't do things the same way you do it, but is good for the operation. Deion Sanders, nobody looks like him. Very few people look like him. We know that in college football.
Right.
But even the people who look like him, the people who look like him in college football don't move like him. So this is what happens. It's swagger. And everybody loves it.
No, name another college coach that has that. I mean, Nick Saban's a great college football coach, maybe the greatest college football coach of all time. We respect him. We know he doesn't have that. He does. When I told you when I came on the show a couple of weeks ago that when God made Deion Sanders, he broke the mold. There was a one-time mold. There was no other person like Deion Sanders that God made. Deion Sanders is a one-of-a-kind entity. People follow him, and not just old heads like us who remember him when he played with the Falcons and the Cowboys and the 49ers. We're talking about the young generation still. They kind of still relate to him. They understand him. They follow him. They like that swagger. He's the one that can go out there wearing the chains. He's the one that can say, after my kicker kicks a field goal to win the game or whatever, go out there and do your dance. That is a breath of fresh air for these college kids who are a different generation than our generation. So if you don't like it and you're on the other team, stop it. But it is good for college football right now. It is good for college athletics. We're talking about it, and it's good that we're talking about it because we're talking about Colorado, like you mentioned, a 1-11 team. We're talking about a team that's in Boulder, Colorado, that nobody knew their mascot for the most part, if you weren't a college football fan before this season. But we're talking about the Colorado Buffaloes, whose must-see TVs. The ratings are up, the merchandise is up. They're already talking about giving this man a prestigious bowl game if he gets to 6 wins this season, which we'll talk about in just a second. But he is great for college basketball, much like Tiger Woods was a breath of fresh air for golf. Not everybody liked Tiger when he first came in, the other golfers, because all the attention with the Tiger. But guess what happened? It helped the sport. And Deion Sanders, as good as college football has been for so many years, Deion Sanders is helping the sport of college football. Accept it, embrace it, and love it.
Colorado for the culture, said no one ever before.
No one.
Before this year.
For the skin culture.
That's right. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Hey, you said, Mike, right, you want to say something else about Colorado?
No,
I'm gonna move on to something else.
I know where you're about to go. You're talking about the culture, but real quick, UCLA, they got Stanford this Friday, UCLA, Oregon State, Arizona, Wazoo, and Utah. They need 2 wins. And those 2 wins, Stanford is a must-win game, and the Arizona game is a must-win game because the other 4 is going to be really hard to get. So they got to get 6.
You said he needs 2. You know, Deion's thinking, only 2? Only 2? I think we can do better than that. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to watching Colorado the rest of the year. And here's what's so crazy before we move on. When Colorado plays in a bowl, it's going to be a bowl game. If they only get 6, they'll go to a bowl. It'll be a bowl that we never even paid attention to before, that nobody was watching. And that bowl's going to have record ratings. There may be a fight. This could be a fight for a 6-win team. Come to us. We want to please accept this invitation.
So you heard the news that might be out there. I mean, Skip Bayless was reporting that the Peach Bowl, which is a prestigious bowl, one of those bowls that if you are a top 10 team, they usually invite a top 10 team to come there. And they want Colorado, from what the reporting is saying, if they're a 6-win team, because they know what the ratings are going to do. That is the type of impact that he's having, man.
That's wild.
Oh, man. I mean, all these college bowls would love to have an entanglement.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.